Bruce sees all.
Often people tell me that the moon has many layers. Why is it, Bruce? Sometimes it's like we can see through the moon. There's different layers. Some people say it's like glass. Well, let me tell you, much like Leonardo da Vinci's paintings that have several layers that can all be seen through them, each layer, because of the oils and linseed oils and egg yolks and everything, mercury, that he would have applied inside of the paintings. This is an atmosphere on the moon. That's one layer, and it's one layer that we can see through. It's the only way, only best possible way for me to explain to someone that understands lighting, that understands atmosphere. Leonardo da Vinci studied atmosphere. He was a scientist. He tried to depict that inside of his paintings, and that's why he knew a lot about how to paint. And why I'm mentioning that? Well, quite simply because the moon, it's hard to understand. And we have to understand that there are different layers on the moon, and that sometimes we see through those layers, depending on the lighting. It's that simple. Do you see that light appear on the surface? One of many areas facing Earth, when I film, that I can see these lights moving. Count myself lucky to have seen so many of these rare sightings, like ghosts or daytime UFOs. And I want to share this with everyone. If I'm able to see a lot of things that some people don't see, along with you all, coming up with understandings of it all, the reality of it all, it's just something so beautiful. I feel so blessed. I feel so blessed to have you all here with me, studying this. I had an incredible desire to want to share this and have it come out in the news and to reach higher, placed people in the field of ufology and astronomy. And I have, but in reality, if I'm the one understanding it all with my own research, all I have to do is share what I'm finding. And the world, the ones interested, will come here and invest some time in taking the time to look at this research. On the moon, sinus iridum, base, industrial. What do you want it to be? It's constructed. Do you see how the surface is absolutely possible to see every large enough object, to see how they're placed, to see lines going and overlapping? This is what's beautiful. It's hard to see different layers on the moon, and we can see them here very well. Let's look at this one more time slowly, because it's just absolutely mind-boggling that it's not front page news. This is what people want to see. Bianchini Crater was over to the right that you just saw, by the way. What do you think of that? Like a path, almost like an airport, right? A long strip, but there's two lines that go over the strip. But what's at the end? Look, dirt. Lunar soil being placed on the surface. I know they're hauling shit out of the surface. You can see that there's dirt piles there all along these structures. They're working on the moon. It's not just advanced aliens. Maybe they're about the same as us in their technology, right? Maybe they're more primitive than us. People ask me, Bruce, for real, I want to see an explosion on the moon. You said you've got it many a times, and I show them often enough. But that's what an explosion looks like. You can get in close, and you can see there are real explosions on our moon. Pretty trippy, eh? The moon is like an onion. Several layers, several peels, but you can see through them. And when you overlap those peels, it gives you an obstructed view of the other layers. More layers that you add on, the less you see the center of the onion. If you were to x-ray an onion, you would see all of the various layers inside of that onion. So what's my point? Why am I talking about Leonardo of Da Vinci? Because Da Vinci just means it's Leonardo from Vinci. In the 1500s, why did he know so much? Because he studied nature. Sat outside, studied nature. He was a scientist, so he had to study nature. They had more time to study nature back in the day. So you're looking at Archimedes' crater. You can see the UFO on the right. You can see the clouds in it. Look at it moving around. It's beautiful. How was I able to do that? By adjusting the light, the exposure. Quite simply. Look on the left circle, you could see an actual cloud cover that, refracting in the sunlight, is hiding some of the surface. But when you adjust the exposure, you can see the surface. I explained it exactly that way day one, when I first showed a UFO, when I first started showing and explaining about the atmosphere and the clouds. It's something very high tech. It's complex. It's silly, honestly, when you think of it. Here with the green filter, you can see that object in the atmosphere. And I wanted to watch this on the right. I wanted to show you that it's actually plunging in and out of the atmosphere of the moon. So I was able to prove it. But watch what happens. We're going to take our time here. I run through these. We're going to look at it close up. Something's going to come out of it. You can't see it here because it's too fast, right? Look here on the right. That circle there. Watch what's going to happen. Watch what's going to come from it in a couple of seconds. A circle. They're starting now. Something's appearing around it. Keep watching. Oh, look on the left. That circle ray starting around it. Let's look at it one more time. When you look at these things, you don't see any of those details. And by slowing it down, by zooming it up, clarifying it, keeping it unpixelated, and adjusting the exposure, look at the characteristics and details that we can see. That way we can define whether these objects are debris, UFOs, or what. I'm going to prove that there are clouds on the moon. I know there are. I can see it in my own work. Let's ridiculously bring the brightness completely up. You can see the refraction. Look at the smokes and vapors and hazes and clouds on the left interacting with the sun, causing refraction of light, thus proving there is an atmosphere on the moon. Or it can be all completely industrial. The same with the brightness of the sun. I've captured many objects hitting the sun. Literally, look at this, gonna hit the sun. But the way I was able to do it was by bringing down the exposure so that we can see off the edges of any celestial object, as much the moon, the sun, any other celestial object or planet. This is an important video. Anyone new to the channel just seeing this for the first time, I hope you are as amazed as I was. So, back to the cloud cover. That's quite simply what I'm showing you. Many times that I've seen it. But underneath, I've seen many surprises and was able to show it hundreds and hundreds of times in different areas, all on the side facing Earth, obviously, because I've never filmed the moon anywhere else but from Earth. But look at that. You could really appreciate that because it's a truth showing us the surface. It's not that hard to see, by the way. The trolls so cried over it. Oh, Bruce, we can't see anything. Okay, good. Well, run along. Move along now. Do you know what I'm showing you? I bet you probably didn't even see it. 3 objects lighting up underneath. A triangular formation. Did you see that? What's this object? Who's this buddy? I want you to notice all the lights that are appearing around it. See the refracting there from the cloud cover, the lights hitting the surface, and all the different hazes and chemicals. It's just something incredibly beautiful. Incredibly beautiful. There's that smoke. There are the 3 dots that appear, and they're bigger than dots because they're on the surface. Let's see it again. First, you see the cloud rolling in. Very well, too. Real cloud cover with the lights underneath. Alien chemtrails, anyone? Watch carefully. And notice they're going in different directions. We see some going downwards. We see some going sideways. This is a beautiful proof that it's not on my screen, right? Bugs, pixels, boy, they tried for so long, the trolls, to be able to prove me wrong. But no one's going to be able to prove me wrong. Not the Pentagon, not DARPA, not anyone. Copernicus crater, top left. There's the base underneath and the famous blue spot. At the end of the blue spot is a long line, but 100 miles long, that runs from that spot straight through that structuring. I love showing this image. There's no filters here. It's the real colors of the moon. It's not a painted scene or sketch. The moon is not gray. The moon is not gray. This one, I almost never showed it because it's not nice enough. You can see fizzing appearing in the image. Whoop. If you're awake, you just saw an interaction with two UFOs. That's so bloody important, guys, for us to show. You have no idea. I'm telling you, it's so bloody important to show these interactions. Watch carefully. See the light appear? When the UFO went by, did you see the spots appearing under the haze of the other level? Underneath, look at all the black dots. Thousands of UFOs watching us, guys. All from the moon. 100%. Watch the light arrive beside it. Boom. So today, with this one, was able to show it 26 times UFOs interacting with each other in groups of UFOs. And I got a lot more videos like that too. Some that I'm going to show and some that I have shown in the past. UFO vanishes into the hazes, thus proving again another thick layer in haze. Did you see that explosion? Let's see it again. An explosion will appear really fast in the bottom. Oop. Something's going on up on the moon, maybe even possibly a war up there on the moon. Ladies and gents, thanks so much for the amazing support to this channel. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for coming back for more. Leon Sykes, thank you so much for the generous contribution on my event, the several contributions, the beautiful messages. Dale Adamson, Karen Fitzpatrick, love you guys.
Aliens abounding on the moon, yes they are up there. Doesn't matter 'cause disclosure's coming soon. Disclosure's coming soon.